What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video. Today, it is match day, people, for Arsenal as they go head-to-head tonight with Everton in their first pre-season friendly of the US part of their tour. And don't forget, we will be live for a watch-along tonight. It's going to be a late one. Could be a whisper-along, people. 11:30 p.m. UK time, we're going live. It's a midnight kickoff. And looking forward to it. Should see some of our new signings involved. Hopefully see William Saliba involved as well, who is like a new signing. And looking forward to it. So make sure you join in for that. Thank you very much to everybody who's been liking, subscribing. We are 300 subscribers away from 50,000 subscribers. I'm leaning on the community here. I'm looking for us to hit that in the next couple of days, people. So if you haven't already, lick down that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? Let's talk about a target that has come out of nowhere for Arsenal today, people. That is former Manchester City winger Leroy Sané. Now, obviously, Mikel Arteta has worked with him before. When he was at Manchester City, I think he was given a lot of the credit for the improvement of Raheem Sterling and also Leroy Sané. Mikel Arteta worked closely with these wingers, did really well. Now, the Bayern Munich winger that we all expected us to go for was Serge Gnabry. We never really seemed to go in for him. He's set to sign a new 4-year deal at Bayern Munich. Now, apparently, Leroy Sané is the winger at Bayern Munich that could be left in the cold slightly here. Sadio Mane has come in. He's going to play on that left-hand side. That is where Sané preferably likes to play. They've got Gnabry on the right. They've also got Kingsley Coman as well. So they have good options out there. It's a World Cup year. Sané doesn't want to be left behind. So reports going around today that Arsenal have apparently actually spoken to Bayern Munich about his possible availability. Bayern Munich asking for £60 million for Leroy Sané to be moved on this summer if a club's willing to pay it. He's 26 years of age, former Manchester City player. He's had 2 okay years at Bayern Munich without really setting the place on fire. Last season was his better season. 13 goals in all competition and 7 assists was a better season. The season before, 9 goals, which wasn't as good, but only 7 in the league. I think you expect more than that from him in a league where Bayern Munich are so dominant. Now, I have to say, people, I always like to tell you the news, then kind of add my own point of view to it. I would be very surprised if this deal happened. He seemed very keen on leaving the Premier League when he left Manchester City and going back to Bayern Munich. Now, a lot of the reports today, I've tried to read a little bit into it, saying that his preferred move would be to go to Spain if he left Germany. And that he would like to go to a club over there and experience a different league. Could we convince him to come to Arsenal? No Champions League football. He's on a big wage, £190,000 a week. Listen, I like Leroy Sané. I think he's a very good player. I think he was better when he was at Manchester City than he was at Bayern Munich. He had a big injury at City towards the end of his time there. If Arsenal could get Leroy Sané, I would be all over that deal. I'm just not sure they will, number one, drop 60 million on Bayern Munich, and number two, whether they can convince him to come back to England. He kind of came here and achieved pretty much everything domestically at Man City. Would he really want to come back to the Prem and play for Arsenal? Maybe he's thinking, you know what, the grass isn't always greener. I've gone to the Bundesliga, didn't enjoy it as much as the Prem. Let me go back to the Prem. But let me know in the comments, people, what you think. Would you take Leroy Sané? I think most Arsenal fans would. But would you pay £60 million for him? And would you pay him potentially 200 grand a week plus to bring him back to the Prem? Let me know. I think it'll be very difficult to convince him to come to the Prem. If we could get him, personally, I think it would be a brilliant signing. I'm a big fan of Leroy Sané. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. Let's talk about a signing that is on the verge of completion. This would have been the headline news today, but he's been the headline for the last 3 days. So I put it second in the line today. Alexander Zinchenko. Now, according to reports, this deal is close to being agreed. In fact, reports coming out today, Fabrizio Romano says Arsenal have now agreed a fee with Manchester City for the sale of Alexander Zinchenko. It is believed to be £30 million. We heard 25, then we heard 35. Looks like they've met in the middle. Negotiations with Manchester City have progressed well and run smoothly, and it looks as if this deal could be completed. There's even talks that he could join the squad in America for the tour, so we may get to see him in the last couple of games over there for Arsenal. So good news. And Ben Jacobs, a friend of the channel now, who came on the show a couple of weeks ago, said his source at Manchester City said they're begrudgingly willing to sell Zinchenko. They appreciate his talent and would love to keep him, but they can't offer him the game time that Arsenal can, and that's what the player wants. Zinchenko is excited to link up with Arteta and Gabriel Jesus. The player was sold on a more integral role as part of the move. Arteta sees Zinchenko as a good fit due to his versatility. Now, as we've spoken about before, I think it's a very good signing for Arsenal. It's not the most exciting, glamorous one, but it makes a lot of sense. He's versatile. He knows the Prem. He knows Arteta. It's a position, particularly at left back, that we've had issues with Tierney's injuries. He can slot into midfield as well, and he's only 25. He's a good age. As I said before, if we're signing him to be the midfield signing of the summer, I think that's a little bit underwhelming. I think we still should go and sign a Tielemans or somebody like that. But in isolation, I think Zinchenko is a very good bit of business for Arsenal. And I want players that have won trophies that know what it takes to play at that level. And Zinchenko ticks a lot of boxes for Arsenal. £30 million, very sensible, 25 years of age, knows Arteta, knows the Prem. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in an Arsenal shirt. I think that's a good bit of business. That, along with Jesus, two good signings. Some people have been putting in the comments, we're signing Man City rejects. Listen, I'll take all of them. You know, I'll take Gundogan. And these aren't rejects. These are just players that are maybe on the fringes of their first team at the moment. I don't think Manchester City have any player, really, that you would consider is an actual reject. They're just players that are on the fringes of a very, very good team. So, Jesus, Zinchenko, I'll take all of them. So, listen, good signing, and let me know what you think. We've spoken about it a few times, people. William Saliba is set to be involved, hopefully later today, against Everton. He made a few comments. Had an interview with Arsenal.com, and he said a few things. Now, Saliba has said, people, regarding what is going off with him at the moment with Arsenal. He said he was asked about Mikel Arteta. He said, we spoke a little bit on Monday and we will speak more. My plan is to fight and work with the team and win as much as possible and to grow more. It feels good to be back and starting pre-season. I'm so excited to continue training and playing in the friendly games. He said, it's important to have the fans behind you, and I like it very much. I can't wait to give them back for their support. It's important to be here with the fans. Hopefully, I'll enjoy the games. He then said, when I was on loan, I watched every single Arsenal game because when I was there, some players weren't. I watched the games to see how they played. So when I was back, it would be easier to play with those players that I hadn't met before. Listen, this kid is talented. Make the most of him, get him on a new deal and let him thrive. He will make mistakes. He's a young centre-back. He's not the finished article. But Saliba has huge talent. He's watching the games. He's doing interviews now in English. He's learned how to speak English. And I, for one, I'm very excited to see him play. He is actually the equivalent of Wenger saying, like a new signing. Because apart from an MK Dons friendly, we never saw this guy play for Arsenal. So I cannot wait. Hopefully we'll see him play later on against Everton. Saliba. Couple more bits of news before we round up. Fabrizio Romano also confirmed the talks are progressing well with Bukayo Saka regarding a new 4-year contract at the club. You know, it's very easy to think about new signings all the time. Sometimes you've got to lock down the players that you've got at the club. Now, Saliba, Martinelli and Saka all have a couple of years left on their deal. They need to be tied down to long-term contracts. They are the future of this football club. Apparently, Saka is very convinced by what is happening at the club and talks are progressing well. I think it's going to be a big contract, especially when you see the likes of Eddie and Ketia on 100 grand. You may see Saka on somewhere around 150 grand a week. So we'll have to see what happens with that one. And finally, people, according to reports, Arsenal have rejected a £10 million offer for Bernd Leno. Apparently, it was around £8 million with £2 million in add-ons. Arsenal have rejected it. They want £10 million with a couple of million in add-ons. You know, it's a crazy one. They're a few million apart. Listen, he's a good player, and for me, if I was Fulham, I know they want to do good business and save money, but that kind of signing could make a huge difference for them in their survival hopes. So whilst I understand Arsenal letting him go, he's got a year left, you've still got to make sure you protect yourself and get good money for him. So Bernd Leno, at the moment, apparently he's verbally agreed personal terms. They still haven't agreed on a fee yet. Big up to everyone for tuning in today. Just a short and sharp one today. I'll be back on tonight, 11:30 p.m. UK time. Arsenal against Everton. Late night watch along here in the UK. We're having an absolute heat wave over here at the moment. It's a sweatbox. But I'll be back. Looking forward to the game. Make sure you tune in for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. 300 subscribers away from 50k. Can we hit it? Listen, can we hit it tonight? Can we hit it tomorrow? Let's get that sorted sooner rather than later. Big up to everyone for tuning in. I'll see you all later, and let me know in the comments what you think about what we've discussed. Peace, bless.